Hi, everybody. Thank you all for being here on behalf of the Roseville um, Advanced Homes Program team. Um, we'll go through the new program for the 2019 code cycle. We actually have two pathways, a mixed fuel pathway, which is the one that we've had through previous code cycles, and we also have a new all-electric pathway. At this time, Mark, I know you're online. Mark is with the utility. Mark, if you want to say a few words, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. You'll have to unmute yourself, but if you want to just say hi to everyone and welcome, you can do that now. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties here. All right, Mark, I unmuted you.
There you go. Now I'm unmuted. Whew,
Yeah.
that was tough. Going off and on you. So this is Mark Riffey. I'm with Roseville Electric Utility. As Myra said, we're excited about our two new revised new construction programs. I know that as the department of the city, our city council has made an emphasis on creating a healthier community, and these programs align greatly with those objectives. And so we as a utility and a department here at the city are excited to partner with our builders and their contractors to achieve this goal. So with that, I'll pass it back to Myra, and don't hesitate to contact her or me directly if you have questions.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark. Just a quick introduction. Sorry, I was unmuted there for a second. My name is Myra Vega. I'm with TRC, and Roseville Electric Utility hired us to implement the program. So if you do apply for the program, you'll interact with me. You'll interact with Paige mostly, and she'll be giving the presentation. I just wanted to introduce myself. I manage the day-to-day operations of the program. So at this time, I will kick it over to Paige.
Thank you very much, Myra and Mark. Thanks for joining. My name is Paige Wenzel. As Myra mentioned, I will be giving the presentation today, and I am an associate project manager for the Roseville Advanced Homes Program. So if you guys are applying or having any questions, a lot of the day-to-day will be from me. And so just a quick little housekeeping items. If you haven't used GoToWebinar before, we have everyone muted except for the presenters. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, go ahead and type them into the webinar pop-up. This can be done at any time, and we'll go ahead and respond to questions at the end. We will be recording this presentation and posting it to our website for your reference at any time, or if somebody wasn't able to make it today, you can go ahead and share it with them as well. And before we get started, we kind of want to get a feel for everyone that joined us today. So I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll, and if you could take a moment and click which kind of title best represents who you guys are. So let me get that up. And I'll give you guys a couple moments. All right, so far seeing some energy consultants and some builders. Great to have you guys here. Okay, I'll give everyone a couple more seconds and I'll go ahead and close it. Looks like it's mainly energy consultants and builders right now. So awesome. Again, thank you for joining. And with that, let's go ahead and just jump right in. You guys can see on the screen now is the agenda. We're going to first go into the mixed fuel pathway. We'll start with an overview of the program and then go over the program structure and eligibility. Next, we'll review the calculation methodology for the incentives, the incentive structure, and the accepted bonus measures for the mixed fuel program. The second part of the webinar, we'll review the new all-electric pathway, go over the same information such as eligibility, the program structure, and incentives. And then finally, we'll review how to enroll your projects into the program, going over the application process, enrollment process, and the incentive request process. And then once we get through all that, there should be some time at the end for any questions that came through while we're going through the presentation. Okay, so first off, a little brief program overview. The Roseville Advanced Homes Program, or RAHP as you'll hear us call it for short, is a residential new construction program which is offered by Roseville Electric Utility to provide incentives to qualified single-family projects. It's an energy efficiency program. It's intended to capture energy savings and assist builders in offering homes that are both highly efficient and still affordable. The goals of the program and Roseville Electric Utility are to improve energy efficiency and motivate these builders, energy consultants, and HERS raters to build beyond minimum code requirements by providing these cash incentives through the program. And as you'll see on the slide, we have the types of construction that are eligible for the program. It includes single family new construction, which also includes duplexes and townhomes. And if you're doing any multifamily construction, those we are reviewing on a case-by-case basis. So depending on kind of certain things, we'll review them each and give you updates on incentives. And a project can qualify for the program if they have lots that reach at least 50 kilowatt hours in electric savings. And I'll kind of go over more of those details later on in the presentation as well. And of course, since this is 2019 code cycle, the homes must be built under the 2019 code. Okay, deeper into program eligibility now. Again, this is for the mixed fuel pathway. Again, projects must be permitted under the 2019 code. They're very similar to kind of if you've participated in a RAHP program before. They're pretty similar with a couple new additions. We still qualify projects on a lot by lot basis. That means even if not every single lot qualifies, if there are at least some, the project can still be enrolled into the program. One of the new things that we've updated this year is that we are now having a minimum 50 kilowatt hour of savings requirement instead of the Delta EDR. So for the program, it's now 50 kilowatt hours of savings for a project to be eligible. Additional requirements for the program cycle include needing to have smart thermostats and Energy Star appliances installed, as well as having whole home pre-wire. Homes will meet the pre-wire criteria if they have electrical wiring and plugs near any appliances that are currently gas. This way, if a future homeowner should choose to go all electric in the home, it's already prepared for that switch. So an example of this, if you have a gas stove, the home must still have the electrical wiring and connection near the gas stove. Same for any gas dryers, water heaters, and so on. Okay, and then this chart here shows the flow of the program structure. The first part of the program, again, is the eligibility. The first tier of this kind of confirms that a project meets the minimum requirements. From there, we can calculate the base incentives from the kilowatt hour savings, and then you can add on bonus measures to increase incentives for the project. And I'll go over all of these incentives and bonus measures in the next couple of slides. So as you can see here, for each lot that meets the eligibility requirements that I showed previously, the base incentive starts at $200 with that kilowatt hour savings of 50. If a lot achieves kilowatt hour savings above 50, they will receive an additional $2 for every 1 kilowatt hour increase. This additional $2 increase continues until the kilowatt hour savings reach 100, in which the incentive increases again to $6 per every one above 100. So I know it's a little complicated, but for example, let's say a lot achieves a 75 kilowatt hour savings, they would receive the base incentive amount of 200 plus $30 for those additional kilowatt hour savings, totaling for a base incentive of $230. Now say a project achieves 101 kilowatt hour savings, then they would receive again that base incentive amount of $200 plus 108 additional dollars for those extra kilowatt hour savings for a total of 308. And sorry, give me one second.
And just to reiterate, that would be per qualifying lot.
Thank you, Myra. Sorry, I don't think I've had to talk this much recently. My throat was getting a little dry. So correct, yeah, this is per lot. So if you have several lots that meet that 50 kilowatt hours, you get 200 per those lots. Okay, and then moving on, once we have this base incentive calculated per lot, you can add on these bonus measures. These bonus measures include envelope, HVAC, and domestic hot water measures. For envelope measures, a project can receive $100 in incentives for high performance attics, walls, fenestration, as well as building air tightness, which starts at $50 and can go as high as $200. So for any of these measures, a project can receive an additional incentives of up to $800 if they implement these. So really the range starts at 50 and can go all the way up to $800 depending on which measures you take in this section. And then in addition to the envelope measures, there are also HVAC and equipment measures eligible for bonus incentives. Homes can include balanced indoor air quality, heat pump space heaters, high efficiency HVAC, whole house fans, and heat pump water heaters for cash bonuses. If all of the measures listed on the slide are implemented, the bonus incentives can increase to up to about $1,750 per lot. And if you have any questions on the specifics of these measures, you can ask in the question box and we can view them at the end. We also have the program manual available for your reference, which provides any details on these measures listed as well. All right. Oh,
And
go ahead, Myra.
yeah, and just to add to that, the additional benefit of taking on the additional measures is they will also improve your kilowatt hour savings. And so you get you get the dollar value associated with the measure itself, but it also improves your efficiency, which helps to boost your base incentive as well. We did put a little graphic together to demonstrate how much savings you could expect for these measures. And so we will have that posted on the website, RosevilleAdvancedHomes.com, shortly.
Thanks, Myra. That was a good point to add. And with that, this ties up kind of the eligibility and incentives for the mixed fuel. So now getting into the very new and exciting AllElectric program pathway. And jumping right in, Roseville Electric is supporting the construction of new homes in the Roseville territory that choose to forego gas connections in their home and build to an all-electric design. Just like the mixed fuel pathway, the AllElectric program is for new construction and still includes single-family homes, duplexes, and townhomes. And again, multifamily projects will be taken on a case-by-case basis. The homes can't have gas connected to them or any gas appliances, and of course, still be built and meet 2019 Title 24 code standards. So again, pretty simple. To meet the all-electric program requirements, they have to meet 2019 Title 24 code and not have any gas service connected to the home. This means no gas stove, dryers, water heaters, HVAC, etc. And for a project that is built in Roseville territory, meeting the Title 24 code and having zero gas appliances or connections to the home, the project will automatically receive $3,000 per home. That's the base incentive. If a project also chooses to add induction cooking over electric resistance cooktops, their homes can receive an extra $1,000. This would bring a total incentives to the home $4,000. So say you're having, for each lot that you choose to build all electric, it starts at $3,000. If you add in that induction cooktop, it's an extra $1,000 on top of that. So pretty simple incentive structure and eligibility requirements. And with that, we can go into the steps on how to get your projects enrolled into the program. So to apply for the program, first go ahead and contact a TRC representative. It'll most likely be me, and we'll have our information at the end of the presentation. For mixed fuel projects only, you'll see them highlighted in the red square, but for mixed fuel projects, we're going to first request you send us your Title 24 documentation and energy models. Since this 50 kilowatt hour savings is a new requirement, we're offering to go ahead and review that your projects meet that eligibility before you even do an application for the rest of the project. And if needed, we are able to provide design assistance to get your project to meet eligibility If you're not quite there with your designs now, we can review what you have and give suggestions on how to update the project so that it can meet these requirements. And then once eligibility is confirmed, you will complete and sign the application form and collect the additional documentation required to apply. Lastly, you go ahead and submit that to your TRC representative, and then we'll go ahead and start reviewing it. For AllElectric projects, you only need to follow the steps 1 and then 3 through 5. You do not need to submit your energy models before you do the application. So you just submit the application with your documentation once you're ready. And
Hey,
if
Paige.
you are, oh, yes.
I just wanted to clarify for the all electric projects, you will still create Title 24 documentation. That's, what you do as part of your um, permitting process. The only step under number 2 um, that isn't applicable for all electric projects is submitting the energy models to us before submitting the application.
Right, great. Thank you for that. Okay, yeah, and then the final thing on this one is if you are a HERS rater or an energy consultant, you can receive $50 per lot for up to $2,500 per project if you complete an application on behalf of the builder. I'll go over kind of that in the next couple slides as well. And funds are limited and reservations are made on a first come, first served basis. And once we are 100% subscribed, we may close the program to future reservations. So if you're thinking about applying, basically it's, start it now so that way we can be sure we reserve your incentives. All right, now moving into how to apply for the program. This screenshot shows the AllElectric application. In the first section, the applicant will go ahead and fill out their information, such as, address and phone number. The next section is for the project information, such as project name and address, number of plan types and lots, and the project contact information. We accept one application per project, and within that project, there is a section where you can confirm how many plan types there are for this one project. So basically, you don't need to submit an application for each different plan type. You can submit one for the project as a whole and just fill out how many different plans you have and then submit the supporting documentation for each plan. And then next, under the project information section, we request you fill out the number of units that will be completed per quarter for each year. And we do understand that construction is hard to estimate, but we request that you be as accurate as possible with your estimates. That way we can ensure that there are enough annual funds to pay out your incentives as you complete your construction. And the next section down there is the project type section. We'll gather information on the type of project that is being built, such as if it's a custom home, production home, an apartment, etc. We'll also confirm for the all-electric application if this is an all-electric project and if it's including induction cooktops or not. And then down at the bottom of the application is where if you're an energy consultant or a HERS rater, you can mark that you are filling this out on behalf of the builder. And this is how we would reserve the $50 per lot incentives for submitting this project to RAHP. And once the application is filled out, you'll go ahead and move on to collecting all the requirement documentation to submit along the application, and I'll review those in a moment. This screen shows the mixed fuel version of the application, all the same information for, applicant pay information, the project information, and still requesting that you say how many lots you're expected to complete per quarter, per year. The one thing that instead of actioning about all electric and induction cooktops, we'll confirm that the project is including the 3 prerequisites down in the project type section at the bottom. So you'll have to click and confirm if you are including hold pre-wire, the smart thermostats, and Energy Star appliances. And again, once this is all complete and ready, we also have the section for HERS Raters and Energy Consultant on this application, and then we'll move on to the required documentation to submit along. Okay, so for a complete application, you must submit these listed documents alongside the application. These additional documents help us to determine eligibility and confirm project completion for incentive payment. Most of the requirement documentation is necessary for a building permit, so besides the application, most of these items should already be prepared for your project. One reminder here is we also require access, shared access to your HERS registry, so either Cheers or CalCerts, and that's how we confirm project completion once we pay out incentives. Okay, so this kind of goes over how the process works once you apply. So once project eligibility is confirmed and the application is ready, the following process begins. First, the application package is sent to TRC. Once you've received the application and all supporting documentation, we'll begin plan review. After plan review has been completed, incentives will be reserved and the project team will receive an acceptance package. As a note, if there are any design changes, please notify the TRC team as soon as possible so that TRC can make the necessary updates to the project acceptance package and incentive amounts. Finally, incentives are requested upon project completion, as in construction is completed. You don't need to wait until you receive a certificate of occupancy. For RAHP purposes, incentives can be requested when the CF3R is uploaded into the HERS registry, and this is how we will verify completion of construction.
Hey, Paige,
Oh,
wanted
yep,
to
go
add
ahead.
on to that. So, when you get your application packet, you will get an incentive request form. That is what you will fill out and submit to us when you are ready to request incentives. And again, in order to request incentives, we need the CF3R testing and proper documentation to be uploaded into the registry. In our history with operating residential new construction programs, this has typically been the step that has delayed payment, as it can take some time for the HERS registry to be updated and to have proper documentation. So as you discuss with your teams and as you go through the construction process, please make sure that that step is done to not delay your payments.
Thank you, Mara. Yeah, good point to make. Oh, there we go. Okay, and another little reiteration about the step to notify TRC of design changes. It's important that you communicate any design changes to our team because it could affect program eligibility and incentive amount. Listed here are some examples of design changes, such as additional plans being added, changes to the plans, or added lots that TRC would need to be informed about. To adjust your enrollment project, you would need to contact a TRC representative, and if we need to submit an updated adjustment application along with any required supporting documentation for that. Okay, and as Myra said, part of the acceptance package we submit to you once your plan review is complete and your project is enrolled is the IRF, or the incentive request form. Please save this once you get it, as this will be what you submit once your lots have finished construction. You could submit IRFs as your project completes lots. You don't need to wait until the entire project is complete. Just as lots complete, you can go ahead and add them to this IRF and submit them as they come along. As long as the HERS registry is updated, like Myra mentioned, to show that the lot is complete, incentives will be paid out per completed lot. We do generally give projects about 36 months from the acceptance date to submit their final IRF. So as long as the enrolled lots have been listed on any IRF before the 36-month mark, incentives will be paid out for all enrolled lots. And that concludes the presentation portion of the webinar. It looks like we have almost 30 minutes left. So if there's any questions that may have come in, Myra, I haven't checked yet, but I'm not sure if you've been keeping track.
Yeah, not any questions, but I do want to take this opportunity to clarify some things and add some additional notes that I think would be of value for our audience. So going back to the electric ready requirement for the mixed fuel projects, what we require there is that the conduit and wiring be installed uh, from the gas device to the panel. and again, that there be a dedicated outlet just for the future all-electric conversion of that gas device. The panel also must have a dedicated breaker for each of the new appliances in the future. So that I wanted to clarify that just to give everyone a little bit more direction on what is required, because I know that that's a question that tends to come up. And then also, we will have the link to this webinar posted on the website. Again, it's rosevilleadvancedhomes.com. So if there's anyone that could not attend, please share it. Whether it's within your organization or outside of your organization, this program will be available for the entire 2019 code cycle. So we know that projects will continue to come in. And then can you go to the last slide page? Thank you. So again, if you have any questions about getting your project to comply with either of the pathways, whether it's mixed fuel or whether it's all electric, please reach out to us. You could reach out to the RNC team at trccompanies.com. You could reach out to myself or Paige. So we are available for those services as well. Typically we'll find that builders do want to go all electric, but they have questions on making sure that it meets code, and there are questions about cost effectiveness that come up. So please don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to help. And that's it from me.
Okay, yeah, as a reminder, we'll get this uploaded to the website and follow up with you guys to have the recording as well. And if we are all set, I have one final poll question that I'll launch at the end of this. And again, if you have any additional questions or comments, here's all of our information. And I think I've maybe already spoken to some of you all as well. So I will go ahead and get this launched. Again, thank you for choosing to spend your lunch hour with us. And I hope to speak with you all soon. All right.
Thanks, Paige. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah.
Hey, Paige, are you still there?
Yes.
I do have a question. Someone raised their hand here. Taylor, I'm gonna unmute you, and then you'll have to unmute yourself, and you can go ahead and ask your question. All right, I unmuted you, and yeah, we should be able to hear you.
Forgive me, I was trying to find the question panel, so all I saw was a hand raised and I raised my hand.
No
Anyway,
worries.
I was curious about the smart thermostat. Is that just like Wi-Fi capable, or is there any, certain specifications combined that you guys need for that?
Yeah, Wi-Fi capable is a feature that we definitely encourage. If you have a spec sheet of the smart thermostat that you want to that you are planning to use, you could send that over to us, and we can let you know if it meets our requirements or not.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And can you remind me, who are you with? And
I'm with Richmond American Homes.
okay, great. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, glad we got to answer one question. And I don't see anyone else's hand raised, so yeah, we can go ahead and close it. Paige, whenever you're ready with the poll.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think some people have already responded, so I'll give a couple more seconds. I'll go ahead and close it, and then follow up with you all shortly with the recording. So one more time, thank you again for joining, and looking forward to working with you.